Okay, hello everyone, and if you are just joining me just for this wheel, then I'm going to go and install it on the rig right now. If you've not seen the video on how to set up this playseat, you can go back and watch that. Well, I just built it in, I don't know how long it took, probably half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that. Obviously it's not that long in the video. But let's get this box open. It does look like, I have to say, it does look like this has been resealed and had been opened at some point in the past, which it shouldn't have been. It should be a new product. Perhaps it was a return, because I did notice that actually these are pretty hard to get hold of at the moment. I think a lot of people are buying these because they're bored at home, stuck in isolation, as was my reason of getting one. So let's get inside. Some instructions. Power, blah blah blah. What have we got? So we've got a power lead. Oops. Power lead and box. We've got Playseat Logitech, take your Playseat to the next level, blah blah blah. Basically saying that this Logitech product is compatible with the Playseat product. Here we have the pedals. Oh, we've got a fair bit of what would you call that? Feedback, not feedback, but restriction on the pedal and on the brake pedal and the clutch. Accelerator's a lot easier to push. So let's just put that there for the moment. We can get rid of the box when we get this wheel out. So much cardboard, so much plastic. And here is the steering wheel. There you go, you can see it there. Paddles. If you're a watcher of my channel and haven't just joined me for this video, you will know when I drive real cars, I have a real problem with cheap paddles. And I mean, these are metal. That's something that a lot of cars aren't. So a lot of them are plastic, but they do feel toy-like to pull, clicky, but not solid. They feel quite thin. But you know, this is how much was this? 250 quid or something like that. I'm sure one paddle on a proper car is more expensive than that. So let's not compare it to that. This, after all, is a toy. There might be some people that get offended by that, but it is a toy, not a real thing. The front of it is sort of shaped like a car. I don't know if these are actual vents used for cooling the system in there at all, or they're just there for show. And there's also a track here where you can run the cable. So I mean, I guess it just goes like that. Let's read the instructions and see what is what. So, it would seem that these knobs on the top screw out. Oh, you can push them in and screw them out, that's easier. Which lowers down the legs, the clamps, to go under there. So screw those back up. Of a medium tightness for the time being. So that's interesting. This one pops up and pops down. This one doesn't. Now, is that a manufacturing fault, or is for some reason one side do it and one side doesn't. I wouldn't have thought that was the case, but it is the case with this particular item. So, I didn't plug any of it in first. So let's unscrew all that. Should, in theory, be very simple, but as we know, things aren't normally as simple as they seem. So there's a little diagram to say pedals in this box. There's another connector here on the other side if you have the optional manual gear shift selector. So with all those cables in, let's get that on there and screw these back up again. Make sure these are tight. Actually, I'll tighten them up properly afterwards. Now this is where, if you watched my last video, I had a load of screws and cable ties and stickers and such left over. Now I wonder if the bolts are going to be used to bolt that to there and also bolt the pedals to there. But they're also some Velcro. Now I wonder if the Velcro was for the seat that has some on it already and it doesn't feel unsecure. So we'll just roll with it. Now there's not actually any instructions on how to attach the pedals. Blimey. This is a small space and I'm far too fat. So these will go up into here as a secondary secure to the I should have done them so tight. Need to adjust. I always do this. Do things far too tight and then need to take it off again. So, okay, so there's one there. Now I don't know about you guys, but I haven't had a steering wheel and pedal combination since the 1990s. I remember I had one on PC and playing Colin McRae Rally, and that just used to have these things. It wasn't bolted to the table, and in my fury and anger of being overtaken, I would often accidentally rip the steering wheel off the computer table. So hopefully with these bolts in, that'll stop me doing that these days. There are some holes up here as well for, I'm guessing, if you had a different sort of steering wheel. I believe these are compatible with Thrustmaster steering wheels as well, not just the Logitech one. So let's have a look on the bottom of the pedal box. We have 6 screws, and look at that, we've got 6 screws remaining. Happy days. We've done something right. So it's quite a cumbersome thing, isn't it, to have in the lounge. I think I have a feeling that I'm going to be shouted at when my girlfriend gets home and finds this in the lounge. But yeah, there you go. Move you round so you can sort of see what I'm looking at a little bit better. So hopefully you'll be able to see that under here, so there's no, well there are holes, they don't correspond with the holes that are on the bottom here. You can see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'm guessing you just fit them. This is really fiddly. You just fit them into the sort of slotted part. Man, this is quite tough. I'm going to have to get on the floor. Why do they include 3 bolts and show 3 bolt holes if they didn't need 6 bolts, like an additional 3 bolts? As you can see, the instruction manual is fairly useless. It doesn't even say anything about screwing anything to anything. So, I mean, they don't line up. I'll show you what I'm dealing with here. So this is a situation, as you can see, 1, 2, 3 bolts in there, in their respective holes. But these 3 bolts here, where is it? So you can see one through there. Well, that isn't correct. The middle one doesn't even have a hole. Should be one there. And there's the other one, also not lining up correctly, but these ones are lined up. So, I mean, maybe you only have to have 3. Let's try it anyway and see if it's unstable. If it's unstable, then I'll revisit this. Okay, so here we are behind the wheel. Just plugged it in, just the cable there at the bottom. Just plug it into the front of the PS4 and a power lead off to the side. I think I've just adjusted the pedals on this and the steering wheel on that in terms of placement of how I want them. It seems to be, so far, plug and play. Let's just go on a quick arcade race and see what is what. Let's do something with a couple of corners, just whatever. Not gonna do a proper race. Just want to see if I am actually controlling the steering wheel. Let's go for an M4 in Yasmarina blue. So if I go to manual, then does that mean I am on the paddles? Who knows? No idea if this is going to work. Literally just turned it on. So we'll see in just a second. Obviously I'm going to be driving one-handed and filming with the other hand, so if I do have to use the paddles, it might be a bit tricky to downshift. But this will give you a close-up. Let's take that cellophane off. That's harder than a... There you go. There you go, that's off. Onto the floor. Your buttons, etc. here. I don't know if this is going to work or if I have to go into... Let's just go for it and just see. It might just do it on this. Let's have a look. So I'm not actually racing, so before you jump in the comments and go you're rubbish. Okay, yeah, alright, so whoa, blimey. That's a very unfair manoeuvre by that 458. Okay, yeah, it is doing it on the pedals. Okay. And the paddles as well. Okay, cool. All right. Well, that's the feedback is quite strong. Third gear, not going fast enough to have a little drifty, but okay. Well, that's that then. We are installed. So hopefully you liked the video, and hopefully this racket that's in the background won't allow me to not be copyright free. Let's just turn that off just in case. So yep, that's it installed. I'm going to go and play this game and then tidy up the massive amount of mess I've just made by installing it. See you in the next video.